Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jackson's Math Notebook. Today, we're going to look at a real-world example on how we can apply percentages. And so let's take, for example, we're at the zoo, and the zoo is publicizing this big cat exhibit. And this big cat exhibit has lions, tigers, panthers, cheetahs, and jaguars. And the zoo wants to take a survey of which exhibit the visitors like the best. And so let's take a look, for example, at the lion exhibit. It was discovered that 200 of the visitors really liked the lion exhibit. And here is the question: 200 is what percent of 500? And if a question about percentages is worded this way, we just simply put 200 as the numerator while keeping 500 as the denominator. Kind of look at it this way: is over of. And that's what we're going to be really looking at today as we answer some of these questions. And so 200 out of 500, what is a percent there? All we have to do, since we're understanding it as a percent, we're just going to multiply by 100. And this is a real easy thing to do because all we have to do is just rewrite the 200 and then add the two zeros when we multiply it by 100 and keep the denominator the same. We can also do it this way by chopping the zeros off right here like this to make it a whole lot easier. If we have two zeros here at the end, we could just chop off two zeros here at the end, and now we have 200 divided by 5. 200 divided by 5 is 40. And in this case, it will be 40%. So 40% of the visitors at this particular zoo really like the lion exhibit. Now let's move on to the tiger exhibit, in which 150 people like the tiger exhibit. And the question is, 150 is what percent of 500? And when the question is worded this way, we automatically put is over of, and 150 divided by 500, well, what is a percent? Well, we just simply multiply by 100. 150 times 100 is just simply 150, and then we just tack on the two zeros at the end and just move over the 500, because 500 times 1 will give us 500. And we can remove the two zeros at the end. And now we have 150 divided by 5, which will give us 30%. And so 30% of the patrons or the visitors to the zoo enjoy the tiger exhibit. And let's move on to the panther exhibit, in which 75 visitors like this exhibit. And 75 is what percent of 500? And remember, is above of 75 over 500. And let's multiply by 100 to find out our answer. 75 times 100 is just simply 75, and we just add the two zeros at the end, and then we just move the 500 over across at the bottom, keeping it as our denominator, because see, this is out of 500. And when we remove the zeros at the end, we have 75 divided by 5, which will give us 15%. And let's move on to the cheetah exhibit, in which 50 of the visitors like this exhibit. And remember, is above of. 50 out of 500 multiplied by 100. Take off the zeros here at the end. And now we have 50 divided by 5, which will give us 10% of the visitors enjoying the cheetah exhibit. Some people like fast cats. And let's move on to the jaguar exhibit, in which this exhibit received 25 likes. And keeping our question in mind, 25 is what percent of 500? Is over of. 25 divided by 500. And we can multiply by 100 again. 25 times 100 will give us 2,500. And moving the denominator across, and so now we have 2,500 divided by 500, taking away those zeros at the end. And now we have 25 divided by 5, which will give us 5%. And here's how you can find a percent of a given number, provided you look at the question remembering is over of. And this would be a good time to pause the video and take a look at this chart. or replay the video as many times you need to gain a deeper understanding of percentages. But in the meantime, it is time to comment, share, like, and I repeat, like and subscribe to Jackson's Math Notebook for more content. Thank you and goodbye.